doing the thing, this complete shutdown begins. And it just feels like there is something there that is just pushing back too hard. And I don't want to push. So you know what? And so this one day that I was telling you about, so Brian and I are there and I'm like struggling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but also laughing because it's just ridiculous. How much intuition, is it your heart of hearts? Is it your spirit guiding you? Or are you finding resistance because there are parts of yourself, whether it be your shadow aspects, whether it be your inner child wounds, whether it be your feminine wounds, what have you, trauma, so many different possibilities here. Is it possible that those elements are showing up for you in this moment because in the past, when you came across this, leaning into that carried a consequence?
Welcome to Mindfully Sovereign, the podcast that invites you to reclaim your feminine self-authority and unleash the abundance within. My name is Sapha, I am your host, and I'm here to help guide you past your limiting beliefs and into the heart of your unwavering and undeniable power. This podcast is all about reclaiming your feminine self-authority, learning the art of self-seduction, and awakening your inner goddess so that you can become an aligned match to your most abundant life yet. So grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and get ready to become mindfully sovereign.
Hello. Happy Monday and welcome back. I have a very special treat in store for you today. This is a replay of a conversation I had live on my Facebook a couple of years ago when we were just moving into the Nashville area. But it feels like it's a conversation that would be very important during these times of transition and giving us the perspective of presence and personal sovereignty in the face of resistance. Resistance being this really interesting thing that we've learned, especially in the spiritual and self-help communities, to vilify a little bit. It's like whenever we see resistance, the idea that has been most perpetuated over time is that of, if there's resistance, it's not meant to be. Run, go the other way, find a different, more easeful path. And while I feel like there is a time and a place for that, you know me, I'm a firm believer in the world of yes and. Therefore, approaching resistance from a place of personal sovereignty where we can see that the answer isn't only to run away can be very empowering. So what you're going to hear and what you're going to see is this replay from this conversation. But again, I feel like it's a really important chat that we get to have and something that we can benefit from. So without further ado, please enjoy this conversation on resistance.
Over the last couple of weeks, I've had really beautiful conversations with people about resistance. And what I'm noticing is a really interesting pattern arising where we've somehow gotten used to the idea that if our being, our body, our mind, our heart experiences resistance along the way, along the path, that this immediately means that this is a negation or a confirmation that what we are doing, we should not be doing, that we have to turn around and go the other way, that what we are looking at, there's resistance because this is not meant for us, it's not good for us, it's something that we need to avoid at all costs. It's an interesting perspective. It's something that I feel comes up a lot in the realm of spiritual growth and a lot in the realm of development. And I understand where it's coming from. And I want to deepen that for you a little bit more, because if there's something that has become crystal clear for me over the last 4 months of my life, is that we have the full capacity at any given point in time to hold space for not just the yes and, but the full capacity, the full capaciousness of something in its form, exactly as it is. without the need to explain away, without the need to go into metaphysical explanations, simply as it is in this moment, because it is that way. It just is. So allow me to explain a little bit further what I mean by this. Resistance. I want you to think about a time in your life when you reached out for something, you wanted something, you craved something, you were on your way to something or someone, you were about to do something. And then out of nowhere, you just started feeling this incredible amount of resistance in your mind, in your body, in your very bones. You're on your way. And yet there's something, you can't put your finger on it, you can't describe it, but man, it just feels like every time I think about doing this, about having this conversation, about going to that place, about taking on this job, about expanding this portion of my business, about doing the thing, this complete shutdown begins. And it just feels like there is something there that is just pushing back too hard. And I don't want to push. So you know what? I'm just going to let it go and move on, walk away, and believe that I'm experiencing resistance because this isn't meant for me. When was the last time that that happened in your life? Because I have experienced this in so many different ways. And I've learned that it has just such a unique flavor to it, a unique quality to it. And here's the deal. You're never going to hear me say, you have to push past something in a forceful way. That is just not something I believe in. The work that I do with the feminine energy, the belief system that I have about how our nervous system, our minds, our hearts, our souls, our everything, our world, the universe operates at a particular rhythm and a particular cadence. None of that tells me that forceful intent, that trying to cram something, trying to force something into being or doing or existing works. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When we try to force something, when we try to force the doing, the creating, the existing of something, it cracks and it breaks and it crumbles. When we allow, when we tap into that feminine essence of the allowing, of the leaning back, of the showing up, of the being present with, growth can happen. The seeds can be planted, they can be watered, and then they can grow. And within that space, you are going to have moments of gentle resistance, or sometimes very big resistance. And those moments don't mean stop, turn around, stop what you're doing, walk the other way necessarily automatically all the time right away. I preface that so that you understand what I'm about to say, in as much as I am not going to tell you, no matter what kind of resistance comes your way, just push through it, keep going, force your way through, make sure you make it all the way through and fight it. Fight. That is not my intention. That is not the energy of expansion. That is not the energy that attunes to our deepest manifestations, our most fulfilling experiences in life, and our most truly connected and aligned relationships, not just romantic relationships, but that with our coworkers, with our family members, with our sons, daughters, etc. Right? I preface that so that you understand this isn't about pushing. And very often we get caught up in situations where we believe that everything in life is either or. It's either this thing or this. It's either a yes or a no. It's either a clear something or I'm completely walking away. And we seldom hold the room for, the possibility for, the space for not just nuance, but for the and. There's so much more here. What lies underneath the surface? How much more can I gain from this? How much deeper can I go with it? And what's at the other side of it? Because here's the thing about resistance. And I will use an example that I think it just feels very attuned to me today. And it just is something that I thought was so beautiful and so unique in my way of perceiving it for once. So, you know how some of us struggle opening jars? mostly me. I struggle opening jars so hard. It's a funny thing. I've got a trick. I've got a way to do it, and I can do it, but I really do. I'm that person. I'm that person who just like can't seem to get through. And we were kind of like joking about that, Brian, my fiance, and I the other day, and I was in the process of trying to open something. And this is a process of resistance. You trying to open the thing and feeling that my hand is slipping, like slipping off it. I just can't seem to like get this right. Something is, it's just too tightly sealed or whatever. That's offering resistance. That doesn't mean that you stop, that you throw it on the floor, that you break it, that you smash it against a wall and then catch whatever is in it in your hands. Maybe it means that you immediately look to your partner and say, oh my gosh, open this, because that's my default setting. If I'm with someone, to be honest with you, if I'm by myself, I do have systems in place that I used to figure out, but that's also really interesting because in terms of resistance, we have learned to do that. We've learned, hey, if it's offering me a lot of resistance, I don't want it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I want to give it to someone else. Someone else is going to be able to help me with this. I can't. It's got to be just not in my periphery, not in my ambiance, not in my life. You do it. You do it because you can do it and I can't do it. It's too hard. It's too much resistance. It's too much. I just can't. First. Then we've also learned, if I have to, I will grit my teeth and I will make it through and I will freaking scream and cuss and punch and just make this so freaking extra difficult for myself that it's just going to feel like the most impossible task in the entire world. I'll get it done eventually, but it's just, it's unnerving and it's awful. I don't like it. And I'm basically making myself do it, which means at the end of it, I feel just like terrible about it. And I feel grumpy and I don't want to deal with it anymore or anyone else ever again. Don't even look at me. Right? Or we lean into the resistance and we observe. This is the place of expansion. It's not the immediate response. It's not the automatically I'm getting resistance. That means I'm not meant to eat this peanut butter, putting it down, walking away, getting something else. It's not the, I know I'm getting at this peanut butter one way or the other. I'm going to smash it on the floor and I'm just going to cut my hands all up and get it in there, right? It's not one extreme or the other. It's the path of presence and it's the path of expansion, meaning you sit and you pause and you watch. And so this one day that I was telling you about, so Brian and I are there and I'm like struggling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but also laughing because it's just ridiculous how much I struggle with this. And he's like, I see what you're doing. Look at what you're doing with your hand. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just can't, like, it's just my hand slippery. I get it. It's valid. Your hand is slippery. I just want you to notice the shape and how you are grabbing it. Okay. Like grabbing it, right? Like, is that not how you're supposed to grab something? Try this. Shift it. And then as I twist it, it comes open. And I'm laughing because it's just all it's taken is one small perspective change. One iota to the left or the right, one iota up or down, one very small movement into awareness and into presence has allowed me to see that the resistance that was there was an opportunity for me to change the way in which I was gripping the thing so that I could open it up and then dig into my peanut butter. If you're just getting here, hello. So pause for a second. I understand the immediate need for release that we come across when we do find resistance. Oh, I was thinking about signing up for this thing and I was kind of really excited about it. But then like every time that I opened the page and I went to do it, I just felt like this incredible amount of resistance. And I just, I just feel like it's not meant for me, because if I'm going to have that much resistance around it, then that means that it's not for me, right? Like it's bad. That must be my intuition telling me that this is wrong for me. Or the opposite spectrum of that. oh my God, I know, like, I want this and it doesn't matter. Like, I have resistance. I don't care. I'm going to bulldoze through it. I'm going to plow it down. I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to chop it up into little pieces and it's going to be done. The resistance is going to die. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to get the thing and it's going to be mine. And it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be blah. And both of these energies are creating a cycle in which we are getting stuck, in which we are depleting our energy and giving our power away, and missing an opportunity for tremendous empowerment. Because we've forgotten to take a pause and take a breath in between. Because we've forgotten to understand that it's okay to reframe our perception of something at any given point in time. That it's okay for us to just take a step back and say, it's very possible that I'm sensing something in that sensory way that only our intuition can speak to us, that is not emotion-based, but very sensory-based. I'm sensing something, and that's where this is coming from. And what it's telling me is this movement, this action, this isn't in alignment with me. And that's what the resistance meant. Okay. Yes, and. Yes. And is it your sensory awareness? Is it your intuition? Is it your heart of hearts? Is it your spirit guiding you? Or are you finding resistance because there are parts of yourself, whether it be your shadow aspects, whether it be your inner child wounds, whether it be your feminine wounds, what have you, trauma, so many different possibilities here. Is it possible that those elements are showing up for you in this moment because in the past, when you came across this, leaning into that carried a consequence that felt unsafe, or it carried pain, or it carried discomfort, or it carried something that you are afraid of? Or is it possible that because you haven't made time to sit with those parts of yourself yet, what you are doing is sensing even the smallest, teeniest, tiniest bit of resistance and bolting immediately rather than taking a pause, taking a breath, and assessing and asking questions? What's this resistance like? What does it even feel like in my body, in my mind, in my atmospheric realm of existence? What does this resistance feel like? You know, does it have a texture, a quality? Is it tension in my shoulders? Is it clenching my teeth down? Is it just fear? Is it, oh, no, you know what? Like it's reminiscent of something, and I couldn't tell you what, but it reminds me. Is it a memory? Is it, what is it? So how does it feel? And in the vein of how does that resistance feel? What about it is preventing you from moving forward, and why? I'm a huge, huge believer that asking why of the self, when it comes from a place of deeply loving curiosity and tenderness, has the potential to open up more doors to healing that we ever even thought possible, especially when we don't attach the answer to an outcome or to an expectation or to a judgment of something. So this resistance is here now. What is it about this particular resistance in this particular situation and the way in which I am approaching this thing globally that is offering me an opportunity for reframing, that is giving me a potential for moving with the flow, that is opening the possibility for leaning into something to see what happens at the end of that discomfort? Because a lot of times the reason why we are not moving in with presence to that resistance is because we're afraid. We're afraid that it's going to mean something about us. We're afraid we're going to fail. We're afraid we're going to bump our heads against something. We're afraid our hearts are going to get broken. We're afraid that someone's going to take advantage of us. We're afraid that we're going to, the list goes on and on and on and on. So it's not really that what's showing up isn't meant for you. It's that you're uncomfortable. It's that you've broken that barrier of, and it's not even safety. This is so funny. I was actually just having a conversation about this with someone. It's not about safety. It's about familiarity. Things that you are familiar with, parts of your subconscious are going to think, oh, those are safe. Are they really safe though? Or are they just the norm? And by virtue of being the norm, the thing that you're used to, the thing that repeats, the thing that you're like super well acquainted with, you believe that this is the only way that things could possibly be. And if there's even one small change, then it's immediately unknown. And because it's unknown, it's uncomfortable. And because you're uncomfortable, you're scared. And because you're scared, you may even be experiencing pain. And because pain is painful, you want to run away from it as fast as you possibly can. And so now you're leaving behind something that could potentially be the key to your greatest, most amazing year, love affair, expansion, business, whatever, because there was resistance along the way. And instead of pausing for a moment and taking a look at how you were approaching the thing and what was going on beneath the surface and the stories that you were telling about what was going on beneath the surface, you simply turned around and walked away, and you ran away and you went the other direction because it was just resistance. It's resistance. I can't. This is bad. If I'm resisting it, this is wrong. If I'm finding resistance, then it's not for me. If I'm finding resistance, then that must mean that this is evil. And here's the thing. Some of your deepest points of growth in your life, in all aspects of your life, are going to come with resistance through that opening, through that breaking, through that awareness. Why? Take a look at it. I'm someone who firmly believes that nature gives us the biggest clues to our existence possible. So take a look at nature. A seedling pod, a little seed, in order to become that tree, that plant, that flower, that blade of grass, whatever it is, it has to break open. Do you really think that the husk is just like just, oh, I'm just flimsy and I'm just, no, that husk is hard. And the life inside of it has to push through, it has to break out. It's the same with an egg hatching. There has to be that energetic exchange, the commitment of realizing there's resistance. And if I push, this thing is going to break. And when this thing breaks, I don't know what's going to happen. And then after that, well, because I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know what's going to happen. I think I better stay here. What if a tree thought that? What if a little chick inside an egg thought that? Life necessitates breath, which necessitates energy. And that energetic exchange is going to sometimes find resistance along the way. And that does not necessarily mean that because there's resistance, it's wrong and it's evil and it's not meant for you. And it's, oh my God, alarm bells. This is wrong. It's evil, blah. And I'm bringing it up because it really is something I've been hearing a lot over the last month. For a month, I've been having these really beautiful conversations and really interesting conversations with people who say, oh my gosh, I really, really, really wanted to do this thing. I wanted to like move to a new city, or I wanted to start my business, and I wanted to paint, and I wanted to go on that dating app, and I wanted to do the thing and join the thing. But as soon as I sat down to do it, there was resistance. So that must mean that that's my intuition telling me that's wrong. And so I just didn't do it because obviously there was resistance. So that wasn't good for me. I understand. I understand where that comes from and the need to want to say, if there's resistance, this is not aligned to my highest good, to my highest purpose. If this is resistance, that means that I have to denounce this and walk away as far away from it as fast as possible. If the relationship doesn't just feel like a breeze, if we didn't immediately connect like soulmates that are supposed to connect on those love stories, and they immediately have the thing, if we didn't have it, but what I did have was this resistance because I'm not sure if I like, the fact that they like brush their teeth weird in the morning and that must be weird. And it doesn't stop then. And then we're robbing ourselves of the possibility for more. Are there going to be times in your life when something comes up and when your intuition, your true sensory-based intuition is going to say, pay attention? Yes. But that's not every single time that you experience resistance. And so it's up to you. I think if there's literally only one message for the rest of my life that I want to share with anybody on this planet, it is that you are the ultimate authority of your life. You're at the wheel. You're the one in charge. You're the one with the crown. And understanding that means, if I did this and I felt resistance, okay, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to ask, what's up? What about this is offering me this resistance? What about this is making me stutter? What about this is making me second guess and doubt? And where in here can I lean into it? And how can I approach this? And is there a different way for me to walk into this space with a different sense of awareness? And is there a different way for me to connect to this and grow from it in such a way that anything that was in my old paradigm can be left behind so that I can make room for the growth and the expansion that is going to come from me breaking the husk, me breaking the eggshell, me breaking the pattern of the thing, of the resistance that was above me that I thought was going to crumble me apart and that was going to crush me and destroy me, but actually is giving me the opportunity to live. What does that look like? And how can we bring that into aspects of our life, understanding that this is an uncomfortable process and that it's okay for it to be uncomfortable. And it's an imperfect process and it's okay for it to be imperfect. And that it gives us a chance for something greater. I'll give you like a really quick example. So I have been wanting to make a move for the longest time. And whenever before we went to Europe, Brian and I, we talked about it and we were like, you know what, we're just going to do it. We're just going to pack everything up. We're going to take a leap of faith. We're going to just go. And leading up to that decision, like when we made that decision, leading all the way up to the actual move and moving across country to a whole different state, taking our whole lives, leaving friends, family, etc., because we felt this calling, because we were so deeply in love and entrenched into this like pleasurable desire for this bigger thing. Along the path, we found a lot of resistance. And I remember laughing so hard because I was having a conversation with someone at a crystal shop. And I was saying, dude, I just feel like it's so funny because jobs we've applied for, or if we've been looking at houses, the housing market has been impossible. If we so much even look at one house, it's already gone before we even get there. And it just feels like all of these things are happening at the same time, where they're like backing up against this beautiful desire that we are bringing into existence. And what I was told immediately, and this is why I'm having this conversation with you today, because I feel like this is what we're hearing a lot from people these days. What I was told immediately was, well, what does that tell you? And I was like, to be present, to hold space for yes, and to understand that this growth is going to be what it's going to be, and that it's okay for it to be in that essence. No, I was told. No. It clearly is telling you this is not the right time to move, because things didn't happen fast, because they didn't manifest in 2 seconds, because they didn't just appear. They weren't just dropped on your lap. So then that must mean that this is not meant for you. This is resistance. You should look at the resistance. And this means that you are not meant to move. This is not the thing you need to be doing. I understand and I recognize where that overcorrection has come from. And I think it comes from a good place. And I'm simply opening the door a fraction and asking you to take a look and see it differently and wonder at it. Become awe-inspired and enter into a relationship of wonderment with your life, every part of your life, so that you can see that this process is actually holding something deeper. We leaned into that resistance and we are here and we are experiencing tremendous miracles and manifestations are just like, and we are still experiencing a lot of resistance. And every time there's a new piece, we lean in. Every time there's a new pushback, we open up the possibility. We look at things differently. We shift our perspective. We learn that you grab the thing with this new grip, and then when you twist it, it just comes open. Those are the changes that start making a huge impact on your life. The ones that take you out of the realm of firm rigidity and hyperfixation on the idealization of what easeful surrender should be like, and into the truth of it. Out of that and into the truth of expansion, which is uncomfortable, which is not perfect, which is going to offer up resistance, and which can create the most beautiful magic for your life. So I would love to hear from you. I want to know what you have observed in terms of persistence in your life. And I want to know how you're going to be changing this and what your perspective can be and what you think your perspective can be when you learn to lean in. So thank you for sharing in this beautiful conversation with me today. It just was something that was in my heart and it feels so good to share with you. And I appreciate that you showed up and shared your hearts and shared your waves and did all the things. And I appreciate, if you're watching the replay, I just appreciate this moment that we are sharing together so much.